You guys, this Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively situation is still ongoing. I mean, the trial is not scheduled until next March, so we still have another year of a lot that can happen. But there's been some new developments that we will get into regarding the legal battle here. There's even a documentary that's come out, an intimacy coordinator that's talking. There is so much that is being said, and we are going to get into all of the new updates. I'm sure by now we are all aware that Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni are in this massive legal battle, with them both suing each other and more. In December 2024, Blake kicked it all off by filing a complaint alleging that Justin engaged in inappropriate behavior on set of the movie It Ends With Us, including improvising intimate scenes without prior consent and making unwelcome comments. She claimed this created a hostile work environment, leading to severe emotional distress and more. Justin, on the other hand, has denied these allegations and countersued for $400 million, accusing Blake of defamation and civil extortion. He even went as far as to sue the New York Times for libel after they published her complaint. Fast forward to March 2025, and the legal battle has obviously intensified, as it's been widely reported on. And as a result, Blake's legal team sought a protective order to keep sensitive information, including private communications with other celebrities, out of the public eye during the discovery phase of the trial. The Independent recently wrote about what her lawyer had to say, writing, "She said one category of information that needs to be kept between lawyers related to medical information, including mental health, and that personal and intimate conversations with unrelated third parties must be kept out of the public eye, because while the public relations value would be high, the evidentiary value would be virtually non-existent." Gavrinsky said there were dozens and dozens of third parties that would be identified by name in discovery materials, and we think there is a significant chance of irreparable harm if marginally relevant information with high-profile individuals who are unrelated to the case fall into the wrong hands. On March 13th, a federal judge granted a modified protective order in the ongoing legal dispute, something some are calling a small win for Blake. This order aims to maintain the confidentiality of certain sensitive materials during the pretrial phase. The order permits parties to label specific discovery materials as confidential or attorney's eyes only. The attorney's eyes only designation is reserved for highly sensitive information, including trade secrets, security measures, medical records, and intimate details about third parties. Materials marked confidential can be accessed by the involved parties, their insurers, legal counsel, and certain experts. However, items designated as attorney's eyes only are restricted to legal counsel and specific individuals, including the parties themselves. It's important to note that this protective order primarily governs the pretrial discovery process. The judge indicated that materials introduced as evidence during the trial might not remain confidential, suggesting that such documents could become publicly accessible. Justin's attorney spoke out following the ruling, and TMZ wrote, "Brian Friedman tells TMZ, we are fully in agreement with the court's decision to provide a narrow scope of protections to categorize such as private mental health records and personal security measures that have never been of interest to us, as opposed to Ms. Lively's exceedingly overbroad demand for documents over a 2.5-year period of time, which the court rightly quashed." He adds, "We remain focused on the necessary communications that will directly contradict Ms. Lively's unfounded accusations. We will oppose any efforts by Ms. Lively and her team to hamper our client's ability to defend against her attacks by incorrectly categorizing important information as trade secrets, especially considering there were no issues in providing these communications willingly to the New York Times." In turn, they wrote about Blake's team also speaking out, saying, "Meanwhile, a spokesperson for Blake says today the court rejected the Wayfarer party's objections and entered the protections needed to ensure the free flow of discovery material without any risk of witness intimidation or harm to any individual's security. With this order in place, Ms. Lively will move forward in the discovery process to obtain even more of the evidence that will prove her claims in court." As if things couldn't get more intense, this legal feud has caught the attention of documentary filmmakers. A 90-minute special titled "He Said, She Said, Blake Lively vs. Justin Baldoni" is set to air in the UK, with a shorter version premiering in the US on March 31st and will stream on Max and Discovery Plus. The documentary aims to dissect the allegations, the evidence, and the social media firestorm surrounding this case. Adding another layer to this complex narrative everyone has been chiming in on to give their 2 cents on the story, An intimacy coordinator named Mia, not affiliated with the film It Ends With Us, commented on Justin and Blake's dynamic in this documentary. She suggested that their text messages showed a sense of genuine affection and trust at one point. She also sided with Blake's attempt to avoid kissing scenes, interpreting her actions as considerate, aimed at preventing discomfort on set. According to page 6 in the documentary, she said, "In my experience, when an actor says, 'I don't need to meet the intimacy coordinator until we're shooting,' as much as it hinders my process, it does typically indicate that they trust their scene partner." She also added, "And those texts made me think that at one point she did feel a lot of trust with him." She later then breaks down the raw footage that we saw released earlier this year from when Justin and Blake were filming for a montage scene in It Ends With Us last year.
So that's why I almost get stop me. We have no way to talking most of the time. Yeah, you're like, what? Let me know and send me. You're never gonna find out.
Oh my gosh, we don't shut up.
And Emily and I have we have these moments where
Staring, you just stare.
Literally we've done it for 5 minutes. it's like, I think you would find it terrifying. We just literally look at each other and time.
I'm a sociopath.
And time stops.
Yeah.
But that's just how it's been for us from the beginning.
No, we're like, oh my god, there's.
And they score again.
Yeah. It's like, oh my god, I forgot to tell you something else.
Oh, I think that's cute. You guys are really cute.
I think it's more than cute.
They won the Stanley Cup.
Page 6 wrote, "When dissecting the raw production footage that showed Lively and Baldoni filming a slow dancing scene, Schachter appeared to side with the actress, who claimed she tried to avoid kissing the actor-director by suggesting they talk in the scene instead. Baldoni interpreted the move as Lively inserting herself into the production process in intrusive ways, but Schachter doesn't see that. I see an actress trying not to kiss her coworker, and instead of saying I don't want to do that, she's making other suggestions," she said. Schachter called Lively's perceived actions pretty considerate, noting that it could be humiliating for everyone there to see Blake Lively tell Justin Baldoni, "Stop trying to kiss me." At the same time as all of this, though, Ryan Reynolds is actively trying to be dismissed from Justin's complaint. It was reported this week by People that on Tuesday, March 18th, the Deadpool and Wolverine star 48 and his legal team filed a motion to dismiss Baldoni's complaint against the actor, arguing that the It Ends With Us director-actor's claims have no merit, as the lawsuit focuses on Reynolds allegedly calling Baldoni 41 a predator in private conversations. According to Reynolds' attorney Mike Gottlieb and Ezra Hudson, that doesn't legally qualify as defamation. They also added the entirety of Mr. Baldoni's case appears to be based on Mr. Reynolds allegedly privately calling Mr. Baldoni a predator, but there's the problem. That is not defamation unless they can show that Mr. Reynolds did not believe that statement to be true. Gottlieb and Hudson said in a statement, the complaint doesn't allege that. In fact, it suggests the opposite, that Mr. Reynolds genuinely believes Mr. Baldoni is a predator. You guys, the situation is beyond messy, and honestly, it feels like we're just getting started. The protective order is a small win for Blake, but the real battle is coming in March 2026 when the trial begins, and let's be real, if the documents from this case go public, it's going to be a social media circus. On one hand, we have Blake, who's trying to protect herself in her personal life from being dragged into this case any further, and then we have Justin, who is standing firm on his countersuit, claiming that he's been wrongfully accused. And then there's this documentary that is being thrown into the mix. Both of their careers could be deeply affected by how this all plays out, and it is just so wild. Hollywood is watching this very closely. No matter where you stand on this, it's clear that this trial is going to be one of the most talked about legal battles. But what do you guys think about all of this and the new information that's come out? And will you be watching that documentary? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.